Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about a serious topic, namely the conflict between Palestine and Israel. As we speak, things are escalating again in 2021. And what I would like to do is, I would like to talk about this topic from a spiritual perspective. And there are many things which nobody talks about, and therefore decided to make this video. For example, remember that every single person on this planet is responsible and accountable for its action, okay, for its intentions. What I'm saying is, political leaders, okay, soldiers, civil rights leaders, journalists, etc. All of these people are responsible for the things they do. And beyond that, all of these people build up their own karma. So what I'm saying is, if you are a politician, a leader, no matter on which side, and you make certain decisions, okay, such as sending warplanes over to Palestine, dropping bombs in, those areas, killing people, killing children, or on the other side, when you are a militant who pushes a button and rockets fly over to the other side, and the rockets kill people, civilians, children. What you are doing is you're loading up on your karma. Understand that, okay? And it's true for both sides. You, Benjamin Netanyahu, when you make those decisions right now as we speak, and you want to play hard, and you go over the top, and you give orders to soldiers to move, to attack, to bomb as you did, the results of all this will have an impact on your karma, on your ancestry. Understand that. Now you, Ismail Haniyeh, the same applies to you. If you give the orders to your people to fire rockets randomly to the other side, those rockets land in civilian areas, people get killed, children get killed, this adds to your karma, okay? To your ancestry. Understand that every single person involved in this, the fighter pilot sitting in the jet and pushing the button to release the bombs, okay? The soldier putting together a missile and firing it, all of you are loading up on their respective karma. Now understand, karma is not a punishment system or anything like that. It's some kind of feedback mechanism. What you send out to the world, this is what will be sent back to you eventually. And I feel that many people do not understand that, and even if they understand it, they are not able to behave in a way which takes this into account. Because the truth is, we are all one, okay? All of us humans, whether we are Arab or Jewish or Christian or dark or light or small or big, whatever, we are all humans. And on a higher consciousness level, we are all one. There's complete oneness. Separation is an illusion. That means if one side attacks the other and kills, all that happens is humanity kills itself. Humanity fights against itself. So the big question is, how can this conflict be resolved? It's going on for such a long time, and it feels like it will never end. Well, allow me to comment on this, okay? If people just continue what they do, to play power politics, to play a geopolitical chess game, okay, things will never change. And let me emphasize that point. Again, Netanyahu, if you really think that you will win this by just using all the force you have, all the military advantage, all the technological advantage, this is an illusion. There will never be peace with one side just dominating the other altogether. And the other thing is true as well. If you think, Ismail Haniyeh, that you can just, get into militant resistance, and this fighting back and provoking the other side and all that will improve anything. It will not improve anything. Okay? In order to solve this conflict once and for all, we need people to make unconventional decisions. We need our leaders to have more wisdom. We need people to understand that if we make this world a dog-eats-dog world, it will be one. But if we make this world a place where people can live together peacefully, where we have diversity, where different cultures appreciate each other, that's also a choice. Now, how can this be achieved? Well, if for once leaders do not just do what they can do not just exploit power advantages and play a power politics game, but they apply some wisdom to their decisions and their role. And they think in the long term, and they understand oneness. They understand that everything they do will come back to them personally, come back to them in their environment, and also on a more collective level. And I know it's hard, sometimes it's difficult to make unconventional decisions, but that's exactly what's needed. Look, this conflict, of course it can be resolved. There are many ways it could be resolved, okay? It's possible to have a two-state system, to agree on some borders, to agree on reasonable solutions. Of course it's all possible. But why hasn't that happened yet? Because nobody was able to do that final step. People were not able to break out of their habits and out of their thinking of power politics. We have hard-nosed leaders on both sides fighting, and the people who are the victims are civilians on both sides. That's not acceptable in any manner. No single child should have died because of adults not being able to agree on a reasonable solution. Let me make that clear. And let me emphasize another point. This area there, it's not owned by Israel, it's not owned by Palestine, it's not owned by Jews, it's not owned by Muslims, it's not owned by Christians, it's not owned by anyone. We don't own anything. The universe owns all that. We as humans, we are tolerated to use those beautiful things the universe has given us. It's not ours, okay? It's an illusion. So that has to be understood. We are allowed to live on this planet, to survive on this planet, to enjoy this planet. But nothing here is ours. We don't own anything per se on a spiritual level. Understand that? So, of course, this conflict could be solved. It's possible, of course. But it will not happen unless leaders and people with a big influence will really behave in a wiser manner, to put it in simple terms. It's in the interest of everyone. It is in the interest of everyone involved. It's in the interest of all groups and individuals involved. And you know what? This particular conflict in the Middle East, it's a big reality check for our world. It's a reality check for our humanity. Were we able to finally develop on a consciousness level? Were we able to reach the next stage in our development? Or are we just staying primitive? And are we just deciding and doing things as if this is a dog-eats-dog world? Because if we do, then it becomes a dog-eats-dog world. But today, in 2021, many other things are possible. We have evolved, there was spiritual development around the globe. We have the chance to finally make better decisions. We have the chance to prevent any situations where little children, innocent kids, are dying because bombs and rockets fall into their rooms, into their houses. This is horrible. This is shameful. Shame on you, Netanyahu. Shame on you, Nahimiah. This is not right. Blood is on your hands. In this day and age, it's not necessary that we have any of that horrible stuff happening. And again, if you are somebody who executes orders, that doesn't free you. This particular role you have taken on, or society gives you, that does not free you from the karmic consequences of your actions. No matter whether you are sitting in a tank or a plane or in whatever, okay, whether you're shooting a gun, whether you're doing horrible things, you are fully responsible for what you're doing, and you're fully responsible for the respective consequences. So I hope that at some point humanity evolves and this particular conflict comes to an end and there's a resolution, and that leaders on both sides, they don't exploit their strength, but they make decisions for the long term. People are tired of this conflict. It's the source of many other conflicts. It should end, and it should end sooner than later. It's in our hands. We as humanity have a choice. We can choose. Okay, we are not victims of any power politic realities. We're not. There's always a choice. And I encourage everyone to think outside of the box, to have compassion for the other side. If you're a developed human, you have compassion. You don't want to see anyone suffer, no matter what religion they have, what ethnicity they have. Don't be so primitive and think in terms of separation. Think in terms of oneness. Okay, we need compassion on both sides. It's not right when these things happen like they happen right now. So I hope that this does not escalate any further and both sides stop what they are doing right now, and that people are coming together to talk, to negotiate, to resolve the conflict. Okay, it can be done. Of course it can be done. At some point there needs to be a cut. We can have the state of Israel and we can have a state of Palestine. It's no contradiction. Both countries could be, working together and prosper together. Rather than have people being scared on both sides what will fall down from the sky on them. That makes no one happy. And if you're a radical, whether you're a radical Islamist or radical Zionist, understand that's the only solution for you to live in peace in the long run. That's the way. It's not the way to just forcefully implement your respective agenda and dogma and ideas. That will never work. That's not how the world works. You can have the strongest military in the world. That doesn't enable you to just forcefully do these things and force others to accept that as reality. It does not. So please apply some compassion, even according to your belief systems. In Islam, it's not allowed to kill another person. That's haram. In Judaism, it's not allowed to kill another person. Okay? These religions say, love your neighbor. You can't be hypocritical about it. You can't believe in one thing and do another. That's not the idea of those belief systems. On both sides. You can't pray to God and then, go and shoot a rocket. You can't pray to God and then, drop a bomb on a house. Are you nuts? What do you think? So I really hope that these things will change at some point. I hope that people will realize that the way forward is to have compassion, to have wisdom, to be understanding, to not go for, the radical choices. That's easy and primitive. Especially if one is in a stronger position, it's easy to say, no, we're going to hit them back hard. We're going to hit them harder than they hit us, like Netanyahu does. That's wrong. Okay, that makes the thing worse. Shame on you for doing that. And the other side, shame on you for just, shooting rockets, into the other land, and they land and kill people who have nothing to do with all this. People on both sides, they have nothing to do with politics, okay? They just want to live. They want the same thing. They want to live in peace. They want to prosper. They want to have, an acceptable life. They want to have dignity. You have to give dignity to the other side. No matter what your belief system is, no matter how conditioned you are, whether you believe this is your land or God gave you this or that. No, even if you believe that, you are human first and all. Okay, you're human. We humans have emotions. We don't want other people to suffer. That's evil. That's evil according to Islam. That's evil according to Judaism. That's evil according to Christianity. That's evil according to Buddhism. That's evil according to Hinduism. That's evil according to Zoroastrianism. I hope that once and for all things are changing. This is an appeal. I'm sad to see innocent people dying. I'm sad to see people suffering. I'm sad to see people falling victim to hard-nosed leaders, to power politics, to radicals. This is sad. It shouldn't happen. Goodbye.